audible? Audible? Is it audible? Is it audible? A very good evening and welcome to today's webinar on Explore Parenting. And we are thrilled to have you all as join for such an insightful session today. Being working parents, it is very much understandable that staying connected with the children always is challenging. And I'm certainly sure that today's session will help all of us to understand and handle such challenges in a best way possible. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter today. She's an expert in the field with years of experience and wealth of knowledge, and she is here to share and guide us through practical tips. Please join me in welcoming our presenter, Mrs. Sasi Priya Janakiraman. Over
Thank
to you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, Kumuda. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to present you a wonderful session. I'm really glad for the GoScore to inviting me for this wonderful session. And I want to point you mainly on day-to-day challenges. So many here we are buffeted with knowledge, but without assimilation. That is our main cause for our day-to-day challenges. It's like everyone expecting 100% perfection in our routine, but no one is 100% correct or 100% wrong. So you must learn to satisfy ourselves, and you must create a mindset like 60 to 70% will be fine for our day-to-day chores. So it applies both for our parenting and for kids knowledge. So the first thing I would like to say, like the kids' behavior with the parents. Most of the kids, in my day-to-day experience and the kids' feedback, I got these points for you. So the parents, they won't accept their mistakes. That is the first point. The parents deny by saying it, I didn't do anything. You have done this mistake. The second point, you deny to say sorry. The kids naturally what they feel, I haven't done anything, but my mama is not asking sorry. So they feel like you want to step down and make them understand the real point, what they want to do. And the third thing, they whenever they need the support, you're by hand to hand, they're not getting that support in the right time. And another thing, always the parents expect 100% in everything. Whatever do you do uh, s- in their day-to-day life, like at school or their studies, their behavioral aspects, in everything. And other thing, we are imposing our milestones. Like our achievement will be small, but you're expecting more in kids. That's our problem. And we're comparing with our nibblings and siblings, and give criticize them by giving a negative comment. These are the impact of the kids in their life. So it's personally the kids told me this feedback. In my experience, I learned all these things. And the second thing I would like to say uh, about the parents. The parents, we are not into the emotional intelligence. We are ready to teach about the cognitive intelligence. All the parents here, what we do is like we are morely focused on kids' school and discipline and what you say, intelligence. Like they want to develop a more professional thing, but they're not giving any emotional empathy. We are not teaching that empathy or something, what to say, like the greetings or the social skills, anything, the management, the self-awareness, and we're not giving the valuable time to teach all this kind of things. And the third point, I would emphasize this because of this low emotional intelligence of the parents, we couldn't give a good social and emotional balance for our kids. The main reason is some parents, what they do, they indulge in each and everything day to day life, like excessive intrusion, what they create, they make everything to focus in one. They can't deviate their relations, or they can't deviate the focusing styles of their studies or something. Example, what I say, some teachers, what they would have said, your kid is troubling a lot in the school. They couldn't concentrate, they couldn't make it. But kids haven't done like that. What they will do, they are in a mode, they are pushed in a mode as if the teacher has made them to sit and focus in a particular way. The kid can't come out of that. So you don't know the reality what the kids are facing in the school. So what it makes you in a delusional state and couldn't come to a conclusion. That is the parents' biggest mistake. Like what the you want to analyze the root cause of the mistake and then you want to handle the situation. You're not doing that. And the other thing, you are expecting an unrealistic goal to the kids. If a kid can able to do such things, you can impose them in the minimal way. You can't forcefully say that you have done this and you want to do more, you want to give your best. Please don't say that to the kid that they want to give their best. Whatever they have, they will give. You can't expect them to be in a higher level. And the next thing is, no parents here are consistent in their day-to-day life, but we expect the kids to have a consistency in their chores. Example, when a mother, I have a practical experience in this. Where a mother came to me and said, he's not studying, he's not getting a good mark in his class. He's focused mainly on his games and everything. But during the exams, what she will do, she for 10 days, she will sit with him and then she will say that, for study this and do your homework, and she will help him collecting the notes. But that won't work out to get a good mark. From the day one, at least a half an hour, she can spend the time and she can analyze what a kid can do, where his focus is, and what he has left, and the miss outs, everything she can collect and she can guide the kids during the particular time. She should focus on the present day. At the end of the day, what she does, only at the 10 days, she focuses and she makes the kid to do her work. That is the wrong way of doing. The other thing, they are not setting any boundaries. Whatever the kids ask, they say, yes, I can do, because we have not fulfilled our desires in our childhood days. So, what we will do? So, I'm giving everything to my kid. But this is not the way. So, you know to limit, learn to say no for your kids or for your job, work style, mentality, and everything. The no gives best result. So S, if you say S, you regret at the end of the day, but the no gives a fruitful result from the beginning. The another thing, some kids, they have a mentality of escaping from their problems. So what the mother will do, she will rescue the child. She will never allow the kid to focus on their problems. They are not independent. They are dependent on their mother or a father. And that is the main problem. The kid can't tackle the issues in a day-to-day life. Example, I'll give you many day-to-day examples. I wish to say it here. The first one is like an obsequious kid. So what he's into, he's like more of frenemy. And frenemy means he acts as a friend, but internally he is not genuinely a friend to a guy. So this guy, what had happens, he makes friends for his own needs, and whenever he wants, he will say, "You can do," and he commits the mistake along with him. So what is the problem in that kind of kid? He will be very passive sometimes, and sometimes he will be aggressive. So this both passive and aggressive nature, what the other creates a victim, and the victim is forcefully entering into the wrongdoing. So the mother doesn't know what the kid is facing at the right moment. So what she will think, okay, my kid is spoiled and she is in the wrong path. But he would be reminding the each and every day lessons from her mother or his mother, like saying you shouldn't step on this problems, you should be away from this problems, and you shouldn't uh, over talk in the class or something. The kids won't listen all these things. The mother's methodology is the kids won't overthink all these things. But really, the kid is not like that. He will think, he will isolate him from the wrongdoing, but a mother can't restrict a freebie's friendship. So what she has to do first, she has to speak with him, and she was to comfort him, and then clear his mind by saying that as a kid, you will focus on your studies, and all these problems are just a passing cloud for him. And then she has to make herself confident and steady minded while teaching the kid. What I can say is best example is the mother should be the mother should plan it first everything in her way to analyze the issues. Mostly the kids are uh, uh, like in a floating park. So they don't know the real task, what they want to face in the society, and how to tackle the issues. So that is the main task. They can't skip off from the parents' point of view. They can't skip out from the parents' point of view. So these kind of issues, what as a parent, what you want to do in the sense, you want to prioritize your time for the kids. So how you can do this in the sense, like most of the person have asked it about the time management personal skills. So learn to say no for your work style or your kids a kid's approach in getting anything. So the first step, if you're saying no, you can most of the problems you can resolve here. The second step is you can comfort them by avoiding the multitasking tasks, both in the workplace and at house. You can spend some time while doing a single thing. You can spend some time and you can concentrate here. After that, what you can do, you can frame your work and time. One second, this is. You can control the failures and what you can say you can motivate yourself, you can motivate your doings and everything. So you need intrinsic level of talking with your talking with your kids and in office and everywhere. So this kind of interaction makes you more perfect in everything. So try to prioritize your distractions and focus on your task. So what you're going to do is mainly you have to just 1 second. I need a break. I feel like dizzy sometimes. Sorry, yes, okay. Dizzy. So
Yeah, so we're going to take 5 minutes break and we will connect back.
I'm sorry, I got something. No, 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 nothing. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Like my way of uh, my way of communicating is like the time management is required for both the parents and the kids. So, what you are going to do at office, the time management is mainly based on your planning and your prioritizing, and this leads to the performance. So, prioritize means you should know when to say no and when to say yes. By saying no, you know to fulfill your task. Avoid this overloading. So when you say no, you want to, you can understand better way of doing it. After that, when you are avoiding this multitasking, your stress level will be reduced because you are focusing on one task and you will tell them that I can able to do only this thing. So I don't want to focus on more thing. And the second part, when you schedule your time, or you allocate your time for a particular thing, you can cover that particular thing and move on to the next one. So you can avoid the distraction. So try to minimize your distraction by going if you're going to a pantry, spend a little time and then avoid it and come back to your thing and continue your work and motivate yourself at each and every place. So when you're motivating, no one is there to motivate you, only you can motivate yourself. So do this thing, you can get into a good performance. And while focusing on a particular task, what is your main thing? You can demonize your the way of others interaction and intrusion in your work style, and you have a specific methodology to complete your task. So focus on that, and then get your success by get your success and reduce your stress level. The next point is like how you can uh, spend your time with the kids for this, right? When you're saying when I want to do, where I want to do, and what I want to do. So when you're focused in particular thing, so you know what you're going to do at that particular moment and particular thing in a particular way. So this gives you allocation in your work style, uh, personal lifestyle, and everything. So control your 5 M's. So learn to learn to control your mouth first. So where to speak, when to speak, what to speak, and then your mood fluctuation is to be controlled by an individual. No one can control you. You know what is right and what is wrong. So you have to control your mood based on your patterns and based on your situations. Then your money. So you have to modify the lifestyle. Example, when you're thinking like I wish to have a brands is my lifestyle. So you can point out, you can get your money, you can save your money, and then you can get your brands when there is an offer. Go and get in a full price. That is an absurd way of doing. So you're losing your money, you're not planning, and you're not prioritizing, and you can't earn the fullest at the end. Third thing is your mind. Your mind will focus on one thing in some time, but the pattern of humans is will focus only on one thing. They can't focus on other thing. But you should have a multi-functional way of observing and listening things in your life. That will help you in more problem solving skills. The other thing is you should know your manners. The manners here, the emotional intelligence is very less because of the improper emotional intelligence. The mannerism is reduced. Here you don't know to greet. I have seen so many persons, even in our day-to-day life, when you see someone, you won't have a mannerism to greet or give a smile. That is the best and worst way of treating a person. Is that the thing? The best way is that by standing like this and sharing is not the best way. And the worst way, what you think is Yeah, if I'm not speaking, they will think like I'm either be as an introvert, or I have a mean mentality, or I don't want to have a proper communication with that. That's not the way everyone is going to deal with it. So try to have a pleasing mentality, and try to be like-minded, like both only go with the like-minded people. That's not the way. You have to focus on everything. In Kuwait or in throughout the world, wherever you go, you won't get this much culture and this much knowledge. If you are in India, you have the particular state culture, but whereas in Kuwait, it is wide. You can easily find various culture. The diversity is more over here, so you can focus. You will get a chance to mingle with everyone. You know each and everything. How each locality we have different manners, different ideologies, and different interactions, and the different cultures, everything. So when you are in this kind of situation or in this kind of world, try to adapt yourself and try to your learn your surroundings in a better way. So that will help you to motivate you and help you to analyze, this is what I'm capable of, how I speak to others, how I can deal with everyone, and how I want to live in my society. It applies both for parents and kids. If you teach your kids with the three W's, they know when to speak and where to speak and what to speak. Like most of the kids in the school, while the teacher is taking the class, they don't know to speak or raise their questions. They will start interrupting in between the sessions, and they'll say, "Ma'am, I have a doubt. Ma'am, I want to go for a break." So these kind of things they can avoid while teaching what when to speak and where. When two teachers are interacting, the kid want to make it fast, and he will be standing throughout the thing. "Ma'am, where can I come? I have a question. I want to do something." Even in between in the staff room or someone. So where to mind their language and where to speak is a very must thing. So it applies for everyone, and what to speak in between. So when a father is interacting with the mother, or a father has an official call or something, they don't know what to do, what they will try to focus, right? They need the special attention of the father. At that time, they will purposely go and irritate the father, or they want their attention, special attention of the father. They disturb him. So these kind of interaction creates a big problem in their kids' surroundings too. And from the early stage, the first better way, right? A parent should teach a kid at the early ages, like 5 to 12. You should teach them, you should give a good path, and then you should make a line. So the underlying problems are from the age 5 to 12. So the basic problem from 5 to 12 years, if a parent or a teacher, the responsibility is not under only the parents. It lies throughout the thing. It's entire. The overall responsibility lies with parents, teachers, and society. So the main thing is the teachers have to focus in our childhood. Like I'm speaking about 30 years behind, 30 years, the past 30 years, what we faced. The teachers were the moral excellence for our thing. But today's life, the 6 years kid know how a teacher is behaving, and the teacher might behave in front of the school uh, in a different way. Along with the children in the class, she has a strict mood, or what you can say, she's not that friendly. So the 6 year kid will start analyzing the teacher. So that the variation we can understand. For us, the teacher was a moral excellence. We obey the teacher, and we whatever she says, we will never boycott that. But today's generation, what they do, they immediately say, "No, I can't do. I can't fulfill. I can't. I. It's really very hateful for me to get into this kind of thing." They say immediately no and boycott that thing. And the third thing, Most of our kids in this generation, they think it is a good thing to have a trendy English, but it is not a trendy word. They don't know even a basic English. The vocabularies, what they trying to say is not in a good way. What I mean is, they know all the filthy languages by looking at the TV or social media through friend circles. They are able to speak in a obscenity way. But but as per the moral English, they can't even write an essay. They can't even write a sentence in English. So they don't try to teach how to speak and where to speak and what to speak. Try to mostly avoid these obscenity words in the public. So ask them to control the mouth when it is a necessary thing. They have to do that. And then the kids also have an oscillation mind. Sometimes in the school they have to get into so many kids. Like sometimes, defensive kid, a defensive. Usually, what this defensive kid will do, he will blame others for his mistake. He will never accept his mistake. So the child has to go through this defensive kid, and he'll be the victim. So what it is, no, though he thinks that he want to avoid such kicks, there will be a patience for that victim. But there is a threshold. Beyond the threshold, if he acts, that causes a relative abuse in the victim. So what the teachers will think, he hasn't done, the victim has done thing. That causes an abusal in a kid. And it makes the kid, why I want to, yeah, though I haven't done anything, why I want to accept this blame. So this kind of thing creates an oscillation and step into the negative things. And another thing, most of the kids in Kuwait, they prefer to spend the money. They don't know to restrict. Even if they go to a bakala, if they give 1 kd, they will spend for 1.5 kd. They will keep a loan and they will come back. Is this the way of pattern everywhere? So if you are getting 1 kd, ask them to try to spend for 700 fils. So this is the way you can curtail from this 5 years to 12 years. After 12 years, you can guide them. You can't teach or raise them. So the basic fundamental problem lies from the age of 5 to 12. If you manage to tackle that problem, the pre-teens, teens, and older teens' life will be somewhat smooth. Not entirely, no one can give 100% parenting guidance. It is impossible to give 100% parenting guidance. Everything based on the day-to-day experience and the situation we undergo and the patterns. All the patterns are not same in our life. Everything changes in momentum. In a moment, it will change. So, some complex kid, I'll give an example. One time he acts as a very mature way. The second time, what he acts, immediately he will be too bossy, and he will want to subdue the his siblings or his friends, or how to say, he will override everything. So he's matured, of course, he know how to behave. But all of a sudden, when he jump in both the way, the maturity also he has a matured way of doing. And the second thing, he has this kind of thing. So this kind of oscillation creates a creates an imbalance in the kid. So they should know how to mind them. They should know how to control them. This is our thing. And mood swings, even our elderly people, even I too have, I felt little dizzy while taking the session. So the mood swings happens for each and every one of us. So we should know how to tackle that thing. So what we can do based on our like I'll give an example. Based on our family situations or a situation we face at school, We want to know how to react to the moment. Like a husband is there, a wife. A husband, after getting into the house, what do you think? He will immediately ask, why you haven't done this? Why you haven't? He doesn't know what he will be throwing. His mood will be in a bad temper. So that will be mainly focused on the wife. He will never. He doesn't know what happens at the house. What is the problem at the house? She may be ill, or she has some other choose, or some other person would have come at that time. So I think immediately the mood swings on depending on the situation and the style. So this kind of thing, either a wife can explain or explain the right moment, or she can say that this is the thing, you have to control this thing, don't interfere in my thing is not the way of saying. So what she has to do, she has to first able to balance his mood and then have a good relation. Then she was to point out that please don't have this kind of talk while entering the house. Even how you are facing at office, I too have some chores and I too have some problems. So try to understand and have a good talk. So this kind of mood swings happens in everyone. And other thing, like most of the parents or even husband and wife, we don't compromise. So a best example is, yeah, there is a what is meant by com in Latin means mutual. Promise, everyone will know. So a mutual promise should be there. If both the parents are working, what they have to do, they would engage themselves in balancing their lifestyles. If a wife has a prioritized work, like if she's in a nurse or something, a husband should balance in her absence. We should speak, we should have a mutual talk in that. We are not doing that. The second thing, usually the father is the backbone of the house. He should always observe the things and listen what the kids are doing at home. He's not doing that. He will come, he will sit in the chair, he will swipe his mobile, he will watch TV for 2 hours. He doesn't have time to interact with the kid. But he will. His main priority is the lady of the house should focus on the kids. That will never support. A father should be a silent observer and silent spectator at home, and he should, after he steps into the house, after his work, he has to prioritize the kids thing. So he shouldn't come, how was the day? How he has went, have you completed? This is not the way of communication. What he should do, initially, just come, comfort him, then ask, how was your friends? What you have done? And what is the main focus today? What you learned? This was the communication you should have to your friends. The second thing, now, most of our parents, what they will do, they will sit, they will sit and wait for the lady to have that. The lady should express to the father. This creates an enmity between a mother and a child. What they will think, initially, the kids will think the mother is a snitcher. This was in a personal experience. One of a kid was saying, my mother is always a snitcher. She says she avoids me, she curtails me in everything, and she is she's prioritizing her work. Like she would watch TV, she would watch serials and everything, but she will curtail in the kids everyday work style. So this was a basic complaint of a kid, and she says, my father doesn't bother about things. He never asks me. He says, whatever you want, you can do. But the mother is the only thing. But the mother, what she has done, she's imposing everything based on the father's knowledge. But the father is not directly telling the problems or discussing this thing with the kid. So what the kid thinks, father is a good person, the mother is a bad person. That it happens. That kind of thing happens in the its mentality. So that the problem creates over there. The second thing, what I will say is the children's no, the children become victim of others other others abuse or others play or others cause. So what happens, they fall, this kind of cause is mainly based on social, that is at school, society, or their friend circle, or like family backgrounds or family relatives or something. So this create an impulsive behavior and aggressive. That is, impulsive means, what do you say? Exactly, they can't. They can't think about the consequences. While before doing, they can't think about the consequences, or they can't react for the situation. They'll be like extreme protective in their way. They will protect themselves from their mistake. They say, "Mama should not find this thing," and then uh, due to that thing, uh, the aggression will happen. If she finds a mistake also, they will be arrogant, and they can't express their so what is that, um, they'll be very repulsive. They'll be more repulsive, and they can't control their anger. They will throw some negative tantrum. They will overthink. Even the mother doesn't ask or something, they'll be overthinking something. So this problem, whatever will do, they will bust out in acrimony. They create an acrimony at home house. So always a father should be a silent spectator. He should take an individual responsibility for avoiding such bad temper movement in the house. The second thing, a mother knows to restrict. So she can give a surprise. I mean, she can give, like, unexpected way, she can give a surprise, like by saying, if a kid always wants to go out and play, don't give a denial statement at all the days. So, like, all days, don't give a denial statement. In any one day, give a surprise acceptance for the kid. So that is a positive way. So they think, okay, mama is not giving a denial statement for everything, but for some day she gives that. For some day she approves. So you try to balance your kids' thought. Okay, my parents know when to restrict, and they will allow me in my freedom. They won't restrict in my freedom, but the parents have some restriction. The kids will understand that thing, so they won't get spoiled. So that is the main thing. So example, what I can say for preteens, mm, their main focus is on games. So don't play games. Give them, you said, just you can say PS5 or Xbox or some other thing, or daily mobile games or something. It daily don't want to give, it's an addiction. But for some day when they have some work they completed, don't bribe them, but give them for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then tell, I'm giving it for your wish. It's not my interest. It's not for my interest. I'm giving it for your sake. And then you can play, but you can't complete the game within 5 or 10 minutes, because the game motivation is like you want to play the game for half an hour. There is a psychologist behind here. Behind this each and every game, there is a psychologist. So that they create the temptation in kids. Just make them to understand that you can't play 5 or 10 minutes. Each kid will say, like, "Mama, I'll play for 5 minutes or I'll play for 15 minutes, then I'll get." The game's not going to end for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Just insist this kind of point while giving the phone to them or while allowing them to play. And mainly focus them on the outdoor games. Even the kids over here, they are not going and playing the outdoor games. Only few, 20% they play in the outdoor games. Few, they will chat, they will go here and there, they will wander around here and there. But there is no basic outdoor interactions or outdoor uh, exercise or outdoor uh, play. They want to wander, they want to roam around, they want to chat, they want to gossip, and they want to enjoy. There is no learning process in outdoor environment. So you have to say that if you're going outside, focus on the games, not on chat or not on gossiping. So avoid like this and teach them. And the third thing, so the discipline is focused mainly on everyone. parents, teachers, and society. So you have to analyze and handle the issues each and every time. So the patterns change each and every time, the pattern changes. It's not the same for every day. Every day, a kid is doing the same thing, the problem arises for the same, then you have to go for the professional. But it won't be there for every day, same problem won't come. It will be different. One day it will for homework, one day for eating habit, one day for sleeping habit, or one day you need much patience in handling. So our thought is our behavior, and our behavior is our emotion. So all are interlinked, and each and everything has a dot. You want to connect the dots. Where is the root cause? Sometimes holistic approach is the best way, because you want to know the root cause of the problem, where the problem arises at school, from teachers or from parents. So you have to understand the holistic approach, and then you want to give the solution for that approach. And moreover, there's pragmatic, that is, the positive and logical teaching is not at all there in our house. So, even I'll start with the first point of studying. So, many parents are focused only on studies. Studies also, they're not having a logical or concept way of study methodology. What they want, they really want their kid to study something that is not based on the books. They want to study whatever they wish. They don't have an idea what they are studying. They will just scan the book, they will vomit, they will get the mark. But ideology is not that. They want to learn the concept, and logically they should understand, they should implement in their lifestyle. Only the school doesn't teach you a life. The school is to the schools are just to make you wise, to attain some knowledge, but life lesson is from the society. So there is an interconnection between everything. So example I'll give you, in max, a kid is doing a max, you can analyze a kid whether he's a complicated kid or he's a understandable kid, or through the solutions, or through the way he understand the mathematical problems. He knows how we can analyze whether he's a problem solving kid or an hesitant kid, or what is a escaping kid. Most of the kids over here, the interest is apart, but some kids have that interest, but they don't know how to analyze the max and do the problems. So based on the max also, you can find the kid's attitude. So parents have to intrinsically understand the problem. Without that, nothing can be done. Each and every way. So, the comprehensive way of talking and intricate details help us to solve the problems in many ways. So, the first way of analyzing and handling the situation is like we should be confident, and we should be clear, and we should be consistent, and we should know how to control our emotions to handle the situation. And third thing, mm, the least one is like we don't have patience in dealing our issues. Mostly at home, a father doesn't support a lady. A lady lose her patience in explaining the things. So the basic trauma lies over there. And at school, the teachers, because of overload, they get frustrated, or they have a perfectionary way of dealing. So every day choose. The teacher's job is not like routine. Each and every day, they have a new things. They are dealing with new psychological problems, a new way of teaching, or they are learning from things. So the teachers should know how to handle the kids in unique way. The teachers are not doing. So whole thing is impacted in students, the kids. Students at school, they are learning few things. From parents, they are learning few things. And from the friends, they are learning few things. The whole impact is on kids. They can't understand the reality, and then what is the surroundings they are facing. So whatever they look at their parents, they will adopt from them, and they will implement in the school. Whatever they do at school, they adopt and they will show to their friends and partially in the school. The best example is I'll give a personal friend of mine. So a guy who who was like uh, who is like more more obedient at home. Most of the kid obedient at home. At school, what he does, he's as obedient in school. But what he got the information is the friends started making as a victim, and create a problem for him by bullying him and by teasing him and by pointing his mistakes. He's not doing. He boycotted many things. He ignored many things, but he couldn't avoid this thing. So he neglected and he isolated himself. But in at the home, at his locality friends, he started bossing them. He started creating a problem, and whatever he learned from the school, he started doing over here. So the mother was not aware of such things, what he is doing at school. So where he learned it at school and he's showing to the mother, and the mother couldn't accept the kid's behavior at school and home because it varies both the end. He's too obedient at home, but he shows some other thing. He isolates himself. He's not interested, and he shows different at that thing. So the mother and father together, they should analyze the case and then give a solution. Without that, nothing can be done. And you should have patience. More patience is required uh, to streamline your kids. You should understand the underlying problem and resolve it. Otherwise, no one can do. No parents. Every day, each parent is facing this problem, including me. You have to analyze and patient, and then discuss in both holistic way and the way emotionally you have to do it. Together, give a solution. That's it for the day.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful session. So, just to finish this session with one top question, what are the five major tips that you would want the parents to remember on a day-to-day basis when they're handling their kids?
Like, the first, while getting up from the bed, each parent, what they will think, they will immediately, they will point out with the stress levels, their day-to-day chores. They'll be having the day-to-day chores and they will have the stress. The stress is started from them. You shouldn't show our stress to the kids, the stress to it. So you can avoid the stress that just while brushing, you brush your teeth normally. That is without any stress level. I want to do this too. Tomorrow I have to do this. So don't create a stress in yourself and show the stress to the kids. The second point, what they want to do and what is your methodology, what you want to do at home, what kids want to do, prioritize and then teach them particular things so the day will be smooth at school and in office. What is your expectation? What do you want to do at home, the kids after the school? Just prioritize that. So each and every time you prioritize, the problem will be solved. And the fourth one, mm, don't impose your thing. Let them do the job, the particular thing. If they are wrong in that, it teach them in the way that they want to uh, understand and do the thing. Don't impose your methodology. You want to do as I say. Don't do that. So by this way, you can curtail them and minimize their arrogance or aggressive nature at home. And fifth one, spend their time when they need at home. If they are saying, I want to be with mom or father, whoever it may be, you can give the time, just be with them, and then what they require, kindly give that thing. That is the thing.
Said ma'am. So understanding goes both the ways from parent side and student side is what ma'am wants to say through this session. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us for this webinar. And GoScore is really excited to come up with two more centers in Kuwait, that is one in Sarnia and one in Faki. And we are starting our registration process from next month, and we are really thrilled to meet and greet you in new locations. So see you all there. Contact us for more information. Thank you so much.
I'm like, thank you. Sorry, like. My sincere thanks to Mr. Paul and GoScore team for giving this wonderful opportunity and for their successful years. Congratulate them for this first anniversary and thank you all for your patience. And I hope you've given a productive session. Thank you.